Good afternoon everyone, how are you all? Thank you for joining me in my studio today. We're here, that's all I'm going to say, we're here and we're live. So make the most of it guys, because every week it's so painful trying to get this studio to work. As I keep saying week on week, our new studio is making progression, although the internet's not over there properly. We're having the road dug up so we can have a dedicated line put in to ensure we can do studio week in and week out. We won't have any excuses once that line is in, and I can't wait, I really can't. So welcome if it's the first time that you're watching us today. My name is Tony Darroch and I'm a guest presenter over on Create and Craft TV, and this is the place to come to be inspired. Not only do I try and inspire you guys, you inspire me by showing me your makes, your lovely comments, just everything. It's a lovely place to be. If you are not a subscriber on YouTube, please make sure you click that button that lets you know when we're live. And Facebook, I will pop the pictures on Facebook as soon as I've run out of the building to get my son, and then run in the house and quickly pop them on. You know what it's like. You've all been there. So in today's studio we're going to do two techniques using the Pretty Peonies. Thank you so much if you did buy them. They are one of my favourite collections and we will be using them lots and lots. The backgrounds were a must, but obviously they sold out. If you do like anything in the show though, you know you can go to a website and pop FBL in the search engine and you can purchase any of the goodies over on there. But please don't switch off or be disheartened if you haven't got the products, because it's the techniques as well. So you might have the techniques here, be able to use them with somebody else's products. It's not a stress, okay? Just enjoy it. So let's just make the most of the time we have together. If you do have any questions or have anything to say, don't forget to write them while we're watching live. Sometimes I can't answer them, sometimes I don't see them till after the show, but I do try and get back to you all. So before I get ready, here's a little inspiration. So in studio today we're going to use the Pretty Peonies Pink. It's the chunkier one of the collection, okay? Now I've had a few messages and I actually had a lovely email from a lady after I'd done my live show about the inky background that I did live on show, and she asked which colours would work, which colours would not, how she would have no idea where to start. So I'm just going to do it again, a little bit different this time, and just show you some colours that I find work well together. I think there is no right or wrong way. The only way you're ever going to learn about colours is if you do it, if you put the colours together. That's the only way I can suggest, because if you end up with a muddy mess you'll not put those two colours together again. Okay, that's the only way I can suggest that you do it. But I'm here to try and inspire you, or maybe use the same colours as me. So I'm going to use some Distress inks for the background. I have here Mermaid Lagoon, Seedless Preserve, Peacock Feathers, and these are the three that I'm going to use on this fabulous technique that was shown on TV. So the difference in this time is I have some watercolour card. Now on telly I only had white cardstock and it was full of chalk content and it still looked fabulous, but I like the looks that you get with watercolour card. Now this is our Carta card. It's textured on one side and it's smooth on the other. I am going to use a smooth side on this occasion. Now you can get everything I'm using on the website and you've probably already got the inks. So I'm going to also use this fabulous product, which I've been using for a while now. We have got stock of this. Unfortunately, it's not loaded onto the website yet, but it is in our store. And it's Pearlywinks. Now Pearlywinks are over on Hochanda, and they do some fabulous inks and sprays and micas and all the good stuff. And I found this to be an absolute stonker of a product. So I'm going to use this as my spritzing bottle with the lovely misty stuff in the base there. So first of all, what colour do we use first? You can use any colour. There ain't any right or wrong way. I'm going to go for purple just because we can. So I'm just going to pop some onto the top of my Eureka here. Is everyone okay? Are we all having a nice day? Or are we all just generally busy? So I'm just going to spray it with a little bit of water. Just get it covered on there. So I've got a little bit of a puddle going on. And I'm just going to dip my card straight into that ink. Give it a good old push down. And then when you lift it up, you should end up with some fabulous colour on there. Look at that, beautiful. So I'll just set that aside. I'll just clean the mat. I'll just clean my card as well, it's gone on my card. So I'll just clean that one off. And we'll move on to our next colour. Now, if you're worried about them combining and making a muddy mess, you can dry between layers. Okay, so you could dry this one and then build on top. I'll just soak up this excess here. I do apologise, I'm using the grottiest cloth you could ever imagine, but as you all know, I'm packed down to move. The move is imminent, I know I keep saying it. So I'm just trying to be patient, as patient as you guys at home, I guess. It's difficult at times, isn't it? But we just have to get on with it. So I'm just going to dry this one off a little bit. This is a great way of not getting muddy messes as such if you dry off between layers. And because we've used that Pearlywinks spray, we've got a beautiful pearl in there as well. So let's move on to the second colour. Now you can just go, I'm just going to go around the edge this time. Let's not go in the centre, let's try and create a bit of a scene-y effect. So maybe not as much water this time, and this is the great thing about it. First time I did that, it was really wet, wasn't it? So this time I haven't added as much water. And that's how you will do it at home. You'll just go with it and see what works. There we go. Look at that. Looks like what, Northern Lights. In fact, I'm just going to get a bit more blue down here. Don't like wasting the ink. Put a bit more down here. You see that? Really, really pretty. Like so. So let's dry this one off too then. I'm not going to dry it fully because I'm not overly concerned if they do mix on this occasion. And let's go with this last one. So this has got a aqua undertone on there. You see that there? Amazing. So what I've done there is literally nearly killed all of my purple. But seeing as we are going for it, I am going to add some more purple as well. And that's the great thing about it, isn't it? You know, you can keep layering and layering and layering until you're absolutely happy with the end result. And get some purple back on our image, and then we should be good to go. Oh, Wow, look at that. Just let that run down a little bit. Wipe this away. Just suck up the excess. But you can see, because we've used a watercolour card, it's not gone, it's got a curve in it, and you're always going to get that curve, can you see there? But it's not got the awful, you know, like up, down, awful, which never actually dries out properly and you can't get it to stick to your card. So let's just dry this one off. And remember, watercolours or water-based inks always dry back lighter. So if you're thinking, oh, I'm not going to see much of my work there, you probably will, because it'll dry back 2 or 3 shades lighter. Already dried lighter, hasn't it? Don't know if you can see that pearl in now. I'll try my best to capture it. I'm struggling. Never mind, it's not the end of the world, but it is there, guys, it is there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the pink peonies because it's the chunky one of the two. And we're just going to dress this around our work. So it's up to you where you pop it. It looks fabulous in heat embossing, but I am going to do it in black because I think it's really effective in the black. And because we've got our fabulous Eureka, we'll be able to stamp it twice and get it really black as well. I'm just going to do it one more time just because I can. See that there? So gorgeous. I'm just going to twist this round a little bit, move my arm. I'm not going to touch the stamp. I don't want the mess on my fingers, but I'm going to see if I can get away with maybe stamping it without moving it. So I'll swap it around. Nope, I'm going to have to touch it. So and because the card's got a little bit of texture as well, you are always going to have to stamp it twice anyway. I'm just doing a third one for good measure. Let's see if we can catch this. Oh, look at that. And will we get away with that? Yeah, we'll go for it. We'll go for it. So just twist your artwork around. Don't try and make it too symmetrical if you can. I'm not sure if that's actually showing how actually pretty that is, but it's really, really pretty. So I'll just set this aside. So a little technique is, if you have a grey alcohol marker, this is from our grey set, if you go around the image, what happens is it looks three-dimensional. So if you pop an outline around, now I'm using a light one to start with until I think maybe I could go a little bit darker. Don't know if you can see that there. Let's go a little bit darker for camera more than, I just want you to see how effective it is. Let's try this one. No, it's disappeared. The alcohol evaporated and it practically disappeared. This is going to be really dark. That's going to scare me to death. Oops. And I'm going to use the bullet, which is a fab. So I'm just going to go around. This is a little bit dark, to be fair. A bit too dark. But get the right colour that you like. So it will evaporate a little bit, so it might not be. I'm going to go with it anyway. And I'm not going to do it all, because that would be painful for you all to watch. But you see how dimensional it looks. Let's just swap another colour. So if you have got your grey set, let's go to this part here, look. So when you go around, bearing in mind you have used that ink pad that bleeds with alcohol, so don't touch the ink if you can avoid. But I don't know if you can see that. Can we see the shadow there? Just see it, that's it, yeah. So if you go round with your pen and create this sort of shadow effect here, it actually looks like it's 3D. Don't go as dark as this one, mind. So I'm going to have to cut that off now because it will frustrate me. So let's get my, 1 second, let's get my little guillotine. I'm going to have to take that off now. Sorry guys, you're probably thinking, no! Mind you, I have got some butterflies. So I'm going to just take that as close as I can to there without taking. So after all, it did end up portrait. So we have our card here. So because we've used watercolour card too, it's amazing, isn't it? Because you don't get that awful warp that you get in normal white cardstock. So we'll cut through this one. Perfect. Like so. So we've got our nice card coming together there. So let's get this one stuck flat. Now that grey outline I've just shown you there, that applies to the flowers as well. If you want to add some shading to the flowers to make it look dimensional, you can do that as well. Just don't do what I did there, heavy-handed frump, and pick up a really dark colour and do it. Because the outlines are really, really effective. Which way should we go? Try not to move it. So from the set, let's just see which one. So many to choose from, that's the problem, isn't it? So I'm just going to, I was going to use that one, but I think if we grab some card, and what I'm going to show you now is just how to maybe separate your stamp sets. So even though they're joined as a stamp set in your set, we're going to make them as entities on their own. So I've just got this piece of white cardstock here, and I'm just going to stamp just for you here. In fact, I'm just going to pop this card under my Eureka here because it will stick flat then. And then we'll just ink up this one. And then with my scissors, I'm going to randomly cut it so it's not sort of straight. Just four. Like so, and then what you can do, I mean, let's just have a look. Can we see how the light look? It looks a little bit typewriterified now, a little bit, is it, what do you call it, mixed media? I don't know. But a little bit different. Let's just thin this just out. Making them all different sizes to give interest, because I think that's better. And then just and then when you've got your highlight around there, your eye is actually drawn to this area rather than this area. So I'll just let that one, I'll set that one aside to dry, and I'm going to move on to our second one. I hope you like that one. It's more for the background for that one though, ladies and gents. I know it frustrates me when things don't stick. More for the background. And the next one I'm going to do is also a great backgroundy one. So again, I have like a DL style card this time. So I've got the watercolour card again, and this time I'm going to use some vintagey colours. So I have Walnut Stain, Hickory Smoke and Tea Dye. Now, I'm just going to take the Hickory Smoke and I'm just going to pop the ink pad at the top, and I'm just going to drag it down. So as far as I can, and then drag it like don't know what this is called. Don't know what it's called. Like paint strokes. Lots of colour at the top if you can, and as you drag it down, it fades out. Now you could do this in pretty pinks and things like that. And I'm going to go back to the grey. So that looks quite effective in itself. You could just leave it as is if you wanted to. What I am going to do though is I am going to spray it out the top and hold it down. Let's see if we can get a nice effect. I'm just going to let it work its magic. I'm not going to overthink it. So you see how you've got the lovely drips in there, but you've also got the you've still got the brush element of it just in there. See that? Great for a gents card, hey? So I'll just set that one aside, and let me just pick up this colour what's left with this bit of white cardstock just to see what it looks like. Muddy mess. grey and brown. Still all the same. You have to do these things to see what colours you're going to end up with. So that will not be going on a card. So let's just clean our glass on our, our Perspex on our Eureka here. And let's dry this off. Can you see the sparkling there maybe? Shows a little bit better on the lighter colours on the set. Like so. And then what we're going to do is we have the beautiful one that's on a 90-degree angle here. And this is going to create like a creeper across the top, look. I'm going to stamp this one in brown. Excuse me, I just move all my rubbish. And again, because I'm on watercolour card, it's quite texturised, so it is going to take a little bit of a nudge to get that detail within that texture. But I'm going to stick with it because I think it'll be a lovely effect. It's coming together now, you can just see it there. Can see that it is beautiful. You see that there? Really, really lovely. You see, I'm at this side of the camera where there's lots of lights and I can never know whether you're all seeing what I'm seeing. It's a bit annoying at times, but I do get the nod every now and then to say it looks okay, so I'm happy with that. And then from this set, which is your coral collection, I'm going to use that large sentiment. I'm going to just pop it straight in the centre here, look. Make sure it's straight. We'll stamp this one in black. Do it one more time because we can, and I want you to all see how amazing it is. Like so. Let's just take this out of my Eureka for now. So I'm just going to quickly blast that off, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add I'm just going to add a little bit of colour around the edge just to give it a little bit of a lift. Just grab a piece of scrap paper. Got the card's fine. And then I'm just going to pick up some of the, I'm using the tea dye. just going to pick up some of that lovely tea dye and I'm just going to brush it around so your eye is drawn into this area here. We've got our lovely sentiment. I don't want it to be too dark, but I don't think this is dark enough. What do we think, guys? No, it's not dark enough. Let's go for walnut stain. This is where I ruin it, isn't it? That's a bit better. It's just to draw your eye into that sentiment. There we go. That's better. Do this all the way round. This would make a great wedding invite, vintage wedding invite. And then, just to finish, just going to edge. So when I edge, I just use my scissors and I just go round and just give it a little bit of texture. And this brings that true white card back through, which I really, really like. Can we see that there? And we'll stick this to our card. Just give that a second to grab while I hold it in place. There we have two inky techniques. That's not stuck quite well, has it? I'm gonna faff with this little area. I'm not sure if I like it or not, but you will see from the photographs. I am a bit of a faffer actually, as you all know. I don't worry about it, but I do faff. So there we have two lovely cards, two totally different cards, and two cards using what looks like a beautiful image. Look if I can grab one. What looks like a pretty image that should be in pinks and purples into quite maybe grungy, quite masculine. So there we go. I hope you've enjoyed today's studio. As I say, I do apologise, it's a bit hit and miss at the moment. We are all over. Thank you for your patience though, that's all I can say. And I'm absolutely certain that when we do get over the road and everything is up and running, I'll be buzzing, you guys will be buzzing, because it will reflect in the camera when I'm actually at a studio that I love, the internet's working and everything's coming together fabulously. A couple of things I just need to tell you about. If you haven't already seen on our website, we have got a demo day on the 7th of March with Carly from Imala and Donna from Pearlywinks. Now it's going to be a day packed with inspiration, stamping, ink. It's just going to be amazing. It's £10 and you get refreshments, so a big slab of cake and a nice tea and coffee, and you can just come have a look around the store and maybe come and meet some friends, make some new friends, see some new faces. I'll be there, Tim, Tom, all the staff will be there. It's going to be a great day. So if you want to do that, you can book it on the website or you can pay on the door on the day. It'd be fabulous to see you all. So whatever you're doing this evening, have a good one and I will catch you all later. Stay safe. Here's a little inspiration. Bye.